Shh. Shh.
Stop stealing.
Yo, what's good, folkers? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the definition of anarchy. This will be a continuation of the live I was doing earlier. My phone cut it off, saying that my phone was overheating. So, you know, I did what I had to do for a minute, and then now I'm back. So basically, I don't know if you guys caught my earlier live, but you can go back and look at that at a later time when it renders. But what I'm trying to explain is that so many people are calling for censorship, and they don't know what they're doing when they do that, right? You know, a lot of people are mad at Trump because of what happened at the Capitol building, even though these were grown men and women who decided to do that, right? They decided to run up in there. They decided to climb windows and climb scaffolding, and, you know, they decided to keep a loaded tape of their own accord, right? If you look at it, if you look at what he said, he didn't tell those people to go up in there. So I'm just basically recapping what I'm saying. Donald Trump did not tell those people to run up in that Capitol building, right? He didn't use words like, yeah, let's go in there and let's go rush the Capitol building. Let's get our country back and all this other stuff, right? He didn't call for a revolution. He didn't do any of that. He didn't call for a coup. He didn't call for none of that. He didn't do that, right? He said this. He said the same shit he's been saying since the election. That the election was stolen. He was cheated. Blah blah blah. You know, that was what he said, and then he told the people to go home. I don't know how you get inciting violence out of that. Why is this important? It's not important because I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not. I don't support any politician. I really don't. No politician has shown me that they are 100% for human freedoms. Like they just not. They're not, right? And those who are, once they get in office, once they become part of something, they have to toe that party line or they don't get anywhere, right? So it's really all of them. But what they're doing is they're using Donald Trump as a patsy and as an example for the future, right? Like what they can and can't censor, what they can and can't lock you up for, right? They're going to use this every time. It's part of the Hegelian dialectic. Every time something like this happens, they seize on the opportunity or they create the problem, right? They seize on the problem or they create a problem, come up with a pre-planned solution, right? One, because they have you reacting, right? And people are reacting because they're afraid. Oh, these people, these MAGA people are crazy. They stormed the Capitol building, blah, blah, blah. And something needs to be done. So I'm going to look to my government because my government has presented the solution, which is to create more censorship, which is even to go beyond that, not just to censor people, but to lock people up for saying certain things. For in you know how they decide what hate speech is, how they decide what you know, domestic terrorism speech.
Remember that Lego thing?
Yeah, I know. It was buffering. So look, it's not just about getting banned on Facebook. It's not about getting your Twitter page removed or getting your Facebook page removed. It's going to go beyond that. You know, if you let them, if you're okay with them censoring people on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or anything else like that, you know, going and starting your own platform, starting your own Twitter type page, starting your own YouTube type page, that's not going to, you're not going to be able to run from the government taking action against you, right? And this is what I try to explain to people. They say, you know, if you don't like when the way YouTube runs stuff or the way Facebook runs stuff, then start your own stuff. And it's like, it's not really about that. It's about once they get people to accept censorship, and once they get people to accept, you know, rounding individuals up for saying certain things, it's not just going to be about Facebook and YouTube anymore. It's going to go beyond that. And, you know, hypocrites like Lucas, hypocrites like Lucas and even like I was saying earlier in the earlier live, you have Republican senators and Congress people. They're calling for it now. They're saying this, like, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. Pretty soon, you won't be able to avoid anyone who disagrees with that, right? You won't be able to come across anybody. You come across very few people that are actually against censorship. You know, they want to be, you know, the selective censorship is really just obvious. And I don't understand how people aren't recognizing the selective censorship. You know, it's really ridiculous because there are so many people that are on Twitter, that are on Facebook, that are on YouTube and all these other platforms that say, you know, they actually call for violence in their actual shit. They actually directly call for violence. You know, people like Hawk Newsom, who says, you know, burn this and Mickey Ficky down. And then you have other people that are saying, oh, you know, you got to have blood. And Ocasio-Cortez saying that protests shouldn't be comfortable. And you had, I forgot who said that sometimes there's blood in the protest when there's BLM protests going on. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to what they agree with, it's okay. They can leave those posts up. They can leave those videos up. They can leave those twats up. But now they're trying to go after Trump and many others. It's not just Trump. I heard there were like 60,000 people that have been banned from these platforms since the Capitol building, right? And yeah, you keep hearing these are private platforms, this, that, and the third, but these private platforms are government subsidized. Like, they get government subsidies, they get government handouts and all this other shit. They benefit from corporate welfare. Our tax dollars are going to helping these people become richer and richer and gaining more control over public discourse. That's really what it's about. What they're doing is they're stifling public discourse with by selectively banning people. They feel they don't want people to hear what that person has to say, so they're going to ban you. You know what I mean? Oh, they don't want people to hear what you have to say. They're going to ban you. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. This is going to grow into a major problem, right? I already talked about the TAPS Act. The TAPS Act is really, I don't know what they're waiting on with that, but maybe they're waiting on an opportunity like this to move that TAPS Act forward. Because with the TAPS Act, it's a pre-crime bill, the Threat Assessment and Safety Prevention Act, right? So basically, it basically states that, if they perceive that you're going to be presenting a threat in the future, right? If they feel like you're saying such rhetoric, or you're doing things or saying certain things that they feel like they can catch you before you do something violent or do something worse than just talking about it. So they're going to have their little doctors and their little people that are going to be assessing what you're saying. And if they feel like you're a threat, they're going to come get you, right? They're going to come get you. They're going to take you. They're going to put you through psychological evaluation to determine whether or not you're really about that. So, that's what they're moving toward. So the fact that we're calling for this, the fact that we're actually saying, yeah, Trump should be locked up, or people who say certain things and have certain beliefs or something like that should be locked up. That's what they're trying to do. They're not just trying to ban Trump from a social media account. They're also trying to lock him up. Well, this is what they're saying. They're saying this. It's not going to happen, right? Come on. It's not going to happen. They're trying to impeach him right now. He has there's 13 days left. You know what I'm saying? They're going after him financially. They're doing it's a bunch of nonsense, but they're going to use that as a springboard. Once the people accept that happening to Trump, then they're less likely to resist it happening to someone else, someone who really doesn't have the means to defend themselves against a government prosecution like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, just you people who is very this past year, 2020, has really shown the light on people who claim to be of a certain belief, but really they're showing themselves not to be, right? And this is why I point out the amazing Lucas, because he's becoming less and less consistent. He's becoming more and more of a statist. You know what I'm saying? He's calling for censorship. He wants people to be locked up for saying certain things that someone may perceive to be calling for certain violence. Like, no, it either you are or you aren't. You know what I'm saying? There is no what they try to hit Trump with. What they're trying to hit Trump with in this is in this impeachment. It really has to do with not directly inciting violence. They're trying to charge him with indirectly inciting violence, inciting a riot, or inciting domestic terrorism. I forgot what they call that. Let's see. Amazing Lucas predicted what? Lucas on the ABL side of the coin. I don't know. I feel like, yeah. I mean, yeah, essentially. Except he's leaning more right. He's leaning more to the left lately. You know what I'm saying? He's leaning more to the left, and that's the problem with the left-right paradigm. They feel like you have to be on one side or the other. Like you can't think in the middle. Like you can't separate yourself from the paradigm and think independently of those two factions, right? Because that's what they are. They're factions of the government. But guess what? They're part of the same government. They're part of the left wing and the right wing are part of the same bird. Lucas acting like Nostradamus. He didn't predict anything. Yeah, he didn't predict. He didn't predict shit. Yeah, Lucas is not. Lucas is not a Lucas is a hypocrite. He is a hypocrite, right? I'll point out several reasons why. So Lucas on a number of occasions has said that anybody who would harm children, right, do anything against children, he wants them to be out of here, right? In so many words, he said he wants lights out for those, right? But then he goes and threatens my children. That's pure hypocrisy. That's just one example. Another example is he threatens my children, even though he says that anybody who threatens children should have their lights put out. Is he gonna put his own lights out? Anyway, so also, 1 minute he says you can't storm. He was joking. Oh, okay. Sosa Moody, let me ask you a question. He wasn't joking, but let me ask you a question. If someone came to you and told you that they were going to cause harm to your children, you going to take that as a joke? If you have children? So anyway, another form of hypocrisy that he has committed is, let's see, 1 minute he's saying you can't storm the Capitol building. We own that shit. That's our building, blah, blah, blah. The next minute, he's condemning people for going into the Capitol building. 1 minute, he's saying, you know, oh no, the police shouldn't have to answer to the people. In the next minute, he's saying that they should. It's internet woofing. Yeah, you know, I know it's internet woofing. Sosa Moody. I know it's internet woofing, but you taking it to another level when you bring other motherfuckers' children into it. I don't really think that he would come for my children, but because he said it out his mouth and he said it with such aggression, I don't care if he was joking or not. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care if he was joking or not. Point blank in the period. When you attack someone's children, you stepping out of pocket. You can do it. Go ahead. You have every right. Right? But just like there are, you know, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. You understand what I'm saying? I don't give a hot damn if he was joking or not. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to perceive it deliberately as a threat, as a real, literal, real life threat. No matter what, I'm gonna perceive it as that. And so, if I happen to see him and my children are around, I'm going to take action to make sure my children are protected. I'm not even going to allow him to blink at my children. You understand what I'm saying? He opened that door for himself, whether he was joking or not. You shouldn't joke. You shouldn't joke about people's kids like that. Do what you want, but you shouldn't, because guess what? Some people ain't gonna tolerate that. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't care if he was joking. I don't care.
But it's a necklace.
Clout chasing. Let's see. Yep, I'm clout chasing. That's for sure.
Doesn't mean you have to wear it. Put it up and put it back in the box.
What's up, Tina Harmon? Was good.
And put that back. I folded it. Great. You didn't need to.
So this is the thing. ABL, Tatum, Lucas, all chastised someone like you who is faultless. I'm not faultless.
That's not where.
I'm definitely not faultless. That's for sure. And I recognize that and I understand that. And when people, excuse me, when people disagree with me, I don't feel the need to attack them personally. Right? I attack their argument. I try my best to attack their argument. And sometimes I may not. Sometimes a lot of times I fall short of handling my business like I'm supposed to.
Okay.
But that's just me being a human being.
Actually
But what I would never do, is attack someone's children verbally on the internet. None of that. And I won't tolerate it happening to my children. Manny Corey, I don't think so. Nope. I'm gonna stay on his head. I'm gonna get on his head as many times as I want. I'm a clout chase. I'm gonna put his name in. When I feel like I have some subject matter that can relate to what he's talking about, because he says a lot of wild shit, very inconsistent, I can use that. I'm gonna use it straight up and down. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it to make an example of what I'm talking about, right? Because right now, Lucas represents millions of people who think that censorship is okay. And I'm trying to explain why censorship is not okay and how. Shh. I'm using him as an example as to why censorship is not okay and how it's a slippery slope. No, my old head Deuce says you delivered a baby last month. That's pretty false. No, my wife did. My wife is a beast. You understand what I'm saying? At home. Okay, be quiet. So, you know, he opened that door. For excuse me.
Let me see it.
He opened that door for me to be able to come at him.
You can never touch me.
And guess what? I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna walk right through that motherfucker. You understand what I'm talking about? Because I have no respect for anybody like that. I have no respect for him. Did I get mad?
Are you ticklish?
Excuse me.
What?
Did I get mad when he did it? No, I was kind of laughing. I was like, yeah, man. Dude showing his butt, showing his ass. But at the same time, I recognize it takes a certain type of individual to say what he said about somebody's children, whether, even if it wasn't my children, even if he said something about somebody else's child. Excuse me. And the cat.
I got one of your pinky.
Whatever. So, even if he said something about somebody else's child like that, I would still address it the same way. Because children are children. There's no reason, whether you joking or not, to come at somebody's child like that. And not only that, he saw I guess he saw some lives out there, probably the ones I did about him, right, earlier, because I've done lives backing him up. Sometimes I did a live backing him up, backing up his ideas. Sometimes I do a live going against his ideas. But you know, he's seen my children, and so he's actually seen that I have children. He's seen that he recognized areas I've been in, and then he made threats. So I'm gonna take that to a little bit further level than just joking on the internet. You understand what I'm saying? Especially since we both in LA. So it goes beyond just that. And the cat. Be quiet. Oh yeah. No, I wish you. Yeah, it's all good, man. Manny Corey says, am I still gonna watch his vids? Yeah, every now and then. It depends on what the subject is, because I'm always interested. Even people I don't agree with, like I'll watch their stuff, just see what they're talking about, and see where they're coming from, and see what their ideas are and what they're saying to the public, you know. So I don't agree with a lot of Brandon Tatum. I watch his stuff. I don't agree with a lot with ABL. I watch his stuff. I don't agree a lot with a lot of. There's a lot of content creators politically I don't agree with, but I watch them. But I watch them because it's good to hear what other people are saying. It's good to get different viewpoints and perspectives because they might bring something that you haven't thought about, right? They bring a different angle, right? Even though I don't always agree with these people, they say certain things that I do agree with. You know what I'm saying? And then when they say something I feel is on point, I say it. I might tell them in a super chat or something like that, or in a comment. I might say, man, you're on point on this one. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll say, I don't always agree with you, but I agree with you on this. You know what I'm saying? Now I try to expound on that and hopefully bring them closer to the mind state of freedom. But, you know, people are resistant. Okay. Can the kids and wife pummel you on live? You know it's coming. Yeah, they damn sure would. All right, you gonna... Old head dude says, all right, you're gonna roundabout this credit and destroy him. He should apologize and sub. I ain't worried about his apology. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Just like when Hassan Campbell came at Damaris's child. I was on him about that. I mean, he said other things about Kev Gibbs' children that he shouldn't have said. Like, that's some shit you shouldn't tolerate. But that's me though. You think I could whoop him, Manny Corey? I'm not gonna say whether I feel like I can or not. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say it. I would love to test it out though. I don't do that. I don't say, oh, I'm gonna whoop your butt and I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. If someone aggresses me, or someone comes at me like that, I'm like, come see these hands then. Let's see what it do. Let's not just talk about it. Let's see what that action is. You know, are you just talking? Like I don't do that. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna come get you. And no, I don't do that. So at DOA, ain't no way you clout chasing. Jane Miller says, because I have seen your vids in defending Lucas. So clout chasing, yeah, it's not. I don't care about. I mean, and what is clout chasing? Like people clout chase, like he puts, when he wants to shit on somebody, he puts their name in everybody does that, right? When they want to talk about a certain content creator or a certain celebrity or somebody that has a following, he'll put their name in the comments. He'll put their name in the title. Everybody does that. So everybody clout chasing. Shit. Everybody's clout chasing. Everybody, all content creators who use certain things, like hell, when I use Anthony Fauci name in the title, I'm clout chasing Anthony Fauci because he has a following. A lot of people know him, and you know the algorithm will help bring people to my channel. That's what people do. Yep. The Goth Crow says, I said it. You and Lucas undercard for Mayweather versus Paul. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. I'd have fun with that. You know what I'm saying? Have the Mayweather camp train me. You know what I'm saying? Put me through camp. That would be dope. Any excuse I can use to get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I haven't sparred. How long has it been since I sparred? Almost a year. I haven't sparred in almost a year. I miss it. Although I train every day. I miss sparring, man. Thank you, Tecate 19. Appreciate it. We all know dudes who would make this a mess. Yep. That's what Old Head Dude says. Manny Corey says, but I see your point of view, though. I appreciate that. I mean, that's all I'm trying. I'm just trying to do that. Help people see other points of view and not just be caught up in the cult of personality disorder. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Point blank and period. You know, and you should be able to call people out on that. And if they don't be called out on it, they're just exposing who you are, who they are. Daniel Gill says, good evening, brother. Peace and blessings. Thank you, man. Xander says, I don't want an apology either. No, I don't want that. It'll be fake. He ain't gonna do it. Xander says, I'm in favor of Uncle Snap. Appreciate that. Oh, his dude says, DOA, where do you get seeds? Shoot. I got some seeds for the military surplus store. And then I got other. You talking about emergency seeds? Shoot, you can go to the farmer's market and get heirloom fruit and vegetables, and just save the seeds from that. Just make sure they're heirloom, that you can grow stuff out of it. Trying to get followers and fame from other people who are more popular than you is clout chase. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to get followers from putting Lucas' name up here. I'm not, because especially if you think that you're going to talk negatively about another content creator and get their followers, especially if they have a large following. It don't work like that usually. You get ratioed most of the time. So I expect to get ratioed. I mean, when I do stuff like this, I expect to get ratioed. Like when I did the movie, when I did the videos about Heavy Duty Country and how he was talking about the NFAC and all that, I got ratioed. I was expecting that. He has a huge following. A lot of people came to my comment section and tore it up. So, I expect that. I'm lit, Snap. Old Head Dude says, I will discuss any issue with you. For sure. All right. My email is snapzillagorilla@gmail.com, y'all. So if you guys got something you want to say, or you got something you want to share with me that you don't want to share in the comment section, just hit up my email. Get snapzillagorilla@gmail.com. That's with two L's in Snapzilla and 2 R's and 2 L. It's 2 R's in Gorilla, Xander, and my Gorilla, the way I spell it. I salute you standing up to these dudes. I never felt you needed help. I'm glad to help you challenge. Oh man, I appreciate it, man. Oh, Head Dude says, kids going to put 5 minutes of work on you, and I'm going to watch it and laugh. Yeah, they getting restless back here. So Snapzilla Gorilla with 2 R's, 2 L's in Snapzilla, 2 R's and 2 L's in Gorilla. Yes, thank you, sir. So I mean that's really all I have to say, y'all. I mean, look, I'm not trying to dwell on this whole what Lucas said and all the other shit, but I really don't care. I have zero respect for him, so I will do what I got to do. I know I probably get a lot of flack from his followers. I don't care about that. It is what it is. I'm going to continue to shit on him when I need to. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna continue to when he has crazy ideas or ideas I don't agree with, I will continue to use it in my videos to explain my position on certain things, and use him as an example. Use anybody as an example. I've used other people. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Nothing really personal. Nothing personal necessarily. It ain't personal until I see you in person. That's really what it's about. And that's why I told him. All I told him was, because he got real aggressive and talking mad shit when I told him that you can't storm a building that you own. That's a slave mentality. He got real aggressive. Thought I was referring to him. I wasn't. I said, look, I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to anybody who thinks that that's wrong, or that there's something wrong with that. And I said, but you should keep the energy. You should keep the same energy with people that you will keep with them in person. Meaning, how you would address people in person is how you should address people anywhere, on the internet, on Facebook, on YouTube, because you never know when you're going to be around that person. You never know if you're going to see him or anything like that. You should always keep that same energy. That's all I was saying. Keep that same energy. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't an attack. It was merely a suggestion, and it was something that I was going to say because I'm a grown-ass man. I say what I want. I don't care if it's your live or not. So that's all I was saying. Then he decided to fly off the handle. So, it is what it is. That's how he wanted to handle that. It is what it is. Oh, it do says, AFE's you to sell pretty good night vision. Do you have suggestions? I haven't really looked into night vision yet. I know that the better it is, the more expensive it is. The higher quality, the more expensive. So you get what you pay for in terms of optics. James Miller says, at DOA, what's your opinion on guys like Young Ripper talking about cessation, basically saying there's no federal government but limits the power of the state government? I'm not familiar with Young Ripper. I need to start watching him. I thought he was a gamer or something. I'm really confused by his platform. But I don't really watch gamers, so I felt like he was a gamer. I know Lucas is a gamer, but he had a lot of political content. I think, as a matter of fact, I might start watching Young Ripper. So, but anyway, in terms of cessation, I think it's a good start. It's a good start. You decentralize the government, or you remove yourself from the centralized government, right? You secede. That means you break off from the federal government. You break off from the centralized government, and each state has their own powers. So the state that secedes controls their state, and they have no federal influence whatsoever. No federal funds, but they also don't kick funds up to the federal government. They don't accept the laws of the government and all this other federal government and all that. I think that's a good start. And especially if you limit the state government, that's even better, because this is the thing. That's pretty close to anarchy, but people think anarchy means that you're in a hippie circle and you're doing drums and you're going ooh and smoking peyote. That's not what anarchy is. Anarchy is basically free market. You do what you want, when you want, how you want. No one can tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. That's what anarchy is. No one can tell you what to do. No one can violate your rights if you've done nothing wrong to someone else. That's really what anarchy is about. So if you decentralize the government, that means that's less oversight from the few over the many, right? But if you break it down from the state, you break it down from there. People will naturally form governments within their community. That's just how it is, right? I'm not necessarily anti-government. I'm anti not being able to opt out of government. So if you have one centralized government covering an entire land like United States of America, and you can't opt out, there's nowhere you can go. It's okay, mama. There's nowhere you can go to escape government rule. You understand what I'm saying? So if you decentralize the government and you break it down to state powers, at least you have this. You can go to the state that leans more toward what you agree with, right? With laws and customs that you agree with. So that's voluntarism. So that means that you can opt into a system that you agree with more readily. And then if you decentralize the government, there's all this federal land that can open up, and you can form your own communities, or you can do your own thing. Go off into the woods, and if you want to be a mountain man, go be a mountain man. If you want to live on a prairie and grow your own food and be a farmer and a rancher, you should be able to do that without any government interference. That's really what it's all about. It's not about any of that. And of course, you got to have security. You got to be able to defend your land and all this stuff. But you'll be able to do that because, by any means necessary, with whatever tools necessary, because you won't be restricted. They won't be able to say, oh, you can't have a machine gun, or you can't have an RPG or a Claymore mine. You won't be able to meet force with force because we, the government, say you shouldn't. That's really what it's all about. But people they don't understand all that nuance. They just think that, you're gonna be helpless hippies who don't believe in eating meat and all. It's just the perception of what anarchy is skewed. All right. Oh, hey, dude says, I challenged Black Scout Survival yesterday. Great guy, but he is faulty politically. Yeah. The Goth Crow says, what do you think about the whole stocks and cryptocurrency exchange all-time highs? I think it's artificial. I think it's artificially high. Whole Locust thing is he can't handle being challenged intellectually. No, he can't. He can't be challenged intellectually at all. And that's when he flies off the handle. I thought I was in the business until you spoke on the Steam age. LOL. Yeah. So, cryptocurrency being on an all-time high, I think it's artificial, but I think it's natural. I think it's kind of artificial and kind of not. That's just an indicator that the U.S. dollar is failing, right? It's failing. But really what should be at an all-time high is gold. Gold, silver, copper, that shit should be up here, but it's not. You understand? So instead, they pump that value into the the cryptocurrency. So it's not really what the value of gold and silver and all that stuff is. It's the dollar's value in relation to it. It goes up or down. So if gold is higher, that means that the dollar's value in relation to gold is lower. It doesn't mean necessarily that gold is higher in value. It just means that you'll need more dollars to match that. Anyway, I feel it's the same with cryptocurrency, except it's artificial. It's artificial and arbitrary. All right, I'm gonna get off this. My children are going crazy. Yes. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I will be doing a Rucking Live tomorrow. You know, same invitation. Same invitation. You know what I'm saying? So I'll try to be there around 8 o'clock. Try to be there around 8:30. You know what I'm saying? I'll get it in. You know what I'm saying? I'll be bringing my gloves again. All that. So much love to y'all. Peace out. And I'll see you later. Take care.